To learn how to be able to take beautiful photos like this, you can join my online course on lighting. And now I will guide you to edit this photo. First I will open the photo. Then with this photo I will brighten it up. Usually I will take a dark shot like this. I will add contrast 2. With this light is enough. Group it, create a mask. Keep the opacity around 50%. And sweep into the scene to darken. Because I didn't want it to be too bright. And then about 30%. Sweep into the dress. 30%. I didn't sweep the dress all the way, scan a part of the dress. Let it have floating block. This is how I blocks an image. Just scan part of it. Do not scan at all. The bright parts one leave it on. Here you can see before, after. Now I will guide you to squeeze this photo with a tool called Puppet Warp. First I merge the layer. I will open Edit and I choose Puppet Warp. This Puppet Warp notes that the dots are the points that hold the image. For example, I dotted the 4 corners. Then this 4-angle photo will not be changed. Do not stretch beyond these 4 corners. And now I wants to pull this part up, dot the dots around. Positioned here, the image will not be distorted in the areas here. For example, now I dot here, pull up. Then you notice that if I pulls normally with Liquify, it will be distorted in these places. But I pull with Puppet Warp and it won't be. At Puppet Warp, it pulls the whole picture of itself. For example, if I scores points in the corner, it will not be distorted, it will not run. These are the holding points, the keys. Now, no matter how I pull it, it doesn't work. Here, if I don't want it to pass this part, I'll keep it here. Then you see that you can pull a lot. The photo is completely undistorted. This is something I couldn't do when I used Liquify. Then after I have squeezed the picture, it's all the way I want, I press enter. The upper part is here, the lower part will be handled later. Here I see before, after. I pulled up a lot but the picture is not distorted. Next I'm going to zone here and I'm going to pull it down to make its legs long. I will show you the difference between Liquify and Puppet Warp. Puppet Warp. Here now Sam Liquify. Then you see that now I squeeze a lot, I see that the grass is distorted. Like when I woke up, I squeezed a lot of these parts, but this grass is not distorted. So when I want to handle a lot, I should use Puppet Warp. Continuing is now I using Puppet Warp again. Mark protective points around the foot. And 4 corners. Hold here and then I pull. It deforms very little, it changes very little. Pull it out. So now I have a picture with the dress is round. Before, after. Here Sam will drag the subject down here a little bit. Pulled up this part a little bit. Here you see it's just a few steps. The dress it's not round, it's very small and now I have pulled it out to be very big and even. Now I will delete the trash. Remove trash here. Then after deleting the garbage, now I will squeeze the subject again, for the subject to be even. By choosing Liquify. Then puppet warp. It is very strong in that I want the dress to curl and it still retains the details of the subject without distortion. And if I use Liquify in those situations, it's very easy to deform. I fixed the leg a little bit. Now, I also squeezes this dress to make it flutter a little. I'm going to use Liquify so I can tweak the small parts. And I use puppet warp to squeeze large portions. After I finished editing. OK. To do skin, I will zoom in and select skin and beauty skin. I circled the area of skin that I chose. Enter. Now I will scan the skin areas. Sweep where it will smooth there. Can increase to 100%. After that, I will merge the layer and I choose the spot healing. I delete small dots on the skin. In fact, this photo is quite far away, not very clear. Deal with the subject part. First, I'm going to make this dress white by choosing white dress. I think the white dress is much whiter. It's a bit too much and now Sam will reduce it a little bit. I leave it around 50%. This skin is to give the image depth. Then I will also block the image, by choosing brush and choosing contrast. Hit this part of the skin. Hit this way. Now it will highlight the details. Add another contrast. Brush. And this contrast I will hit the dress. So this is I will choose the areas where I want the dress to stand out, I scan in. So here I scan random. It won't follow any standard formula. Usually I will choose the highlights to scan. Pops up to continue the highlight. Before. After. Very prominent. Continue if you want subject skin to be whiter, choose white skin. And I sweep into the skin. Depending on the taste of each person, some people like very white skin but some people don't like it too much. Then depending on the customer and depending on the taste, you can decide the whiteness of the skin. Before, after. Then if I finds it a bit white, I will reduce it. Then the steps I shows you is how to do it, and when I apply it to my images. Depend on the actual situation. And our actual desire. So now I have finished editing this photo and then about the subject and now I will adjust to the colors. The part here is that it's a bit bright. So I will want to darken it by choosing burn here. And I hit it. I hit a lot. I beat a little bit right here to make it darker. Continues to hit all four corners, here I am darkening the picture. Then when I hit this part, you will see that here the color is yellow. Then with normal ones, it's very difficult to handle this part. However, FineArt Secret have a very nice feature, which is the brush color part. Then I choose the brush color. I choose brush color. Press Option or Alt. Choose this color. Sweep this color into this section, now it will stop yellowing. Before. After. Then I got rid of this very annoying color, yellow. Now I colorize the photo. Here is green, then I can reduce the green by subtracting color cast. Minus greens. That's it, now my photo is faded, I removed all the green. Then the picture becomes more old-fashioned. And this rose color, these flowers you can adjust by adding color cast and adding red. Then I will have a brighter color. I can also change its opacity. And note that you should remove the skin part from it, because if the skin is a little red, it will stick to the skin. Now if you want the photo to be more impressive, you can select this detail plus, it will increase the sharpness of the image. Depending on your preference, a photo like that, I finds it a bit too much. And I can reduce it depending on my desire, then I usually leaves about 20 to 30%. Then I finished the photo. Before. After. And this part, I processed the dress very beautifully very easily with the Puppet Warp tool.